What's up, gents? Joe here. If you want to subscribe, it's iPilot4411. 2 T's at the end of pilot. Got to do something with that. Thanks for stopping by, guys. You know, it's been like a month since I've flown this thing. Not even, probably a month and a half since I've flown this thing. I know you guys are wondering when this review was going to be, or if I was ever going to get back. Maybe I crashed it. Nah, but you know what it was? The summer got to me, man. I was grilling out, me and the family grilling out, getting fat. Well, me getting fat, man. I put on like maybe 10, 15 pounds, but I let the summer get in the way. I'm sorry. I should have at least made one video, something, anything, just to let you know I'm still here. But listen, this is the third time I'm trying to make this video. Every time I make it, something's wrong. You know, something's wrong. So this is the third time I'm trying to. They say the third time is the charm. I'm hoping, man. I'm tired of making this video over and over and over. But anyway, this is about the Oxy, the Oxy 3. Fellas, man, this is a good helicopter. This is a real good. It's tiny relative to the 700s. It's tiny, but man, this thing can get up. I was holding back because the tail wasn't stable. I wasn't trying to push this thing hard. I wasn't trying to lean on that collective and push this thing into a high-speed maneuver or anything, not even a high-speed run. Not with that tail going crazy like it was. You know what it was? I don't have any complaints with this helicopter. This helicopter is nice, man. This helicopter is nice. Gentlemen, really nice. And ladies, if there's a lady out there watching somewhere. It's a real good helicopter. But what I was gonna tell you was, I don't have any complaints with this at all. In fact, the only complaint that I do have doesn't revolve around the helicopter itself. It revolves around the way I set up the flybarless unit and the way I set up my radio. Because the tail itself, this tail is mechanically is locked in. Luca knew what he was doing when he made this. You know, the engineering that went into the tail. This tail is solid, man. After I got it dialed in, I got it dialed in at home, but like I said, I had to redo the radio and I had to redo the icon unit. And it wasn't that hard. It was just that I had to sit down and think about what I was doing. But man, I recommend this. This is a bad little helicopter ride. Ciao. So let's get under the hood real quick. Now for this Oxy 3, this X-Nova motor. This X-Nova motor is really good with this helicopter. It works really good. I'm happy with it. It stayed cool the whole time that I was using it. Well, when I say cool, I mean relatively cool. I mean, it was warm, but it wasn't hot. And it was a hot day. And so, you know, it was pulling in hot, humid air. And it was doing good. You know, I put my hand on, like I said, it felt like I just put my hand on, not even a hood that was in direct sunlight. Maybe just a hood that was been run, a hood on a car that's been running for a while. So, you know, it was maybe 100, but it wasn't bad. So I'm really happy with it. You know, with the motor and the performance in this helicopter. I just wish that, like I said, my setup was better because I wasn't able to utilize the fullest potential, the motor's fullest potential, or the helicopter's fullest potential at all. You know, unless you're gonna do 3D, you probably won't utilize the fullest potential of your helicopters anyway. So I probably will never. Well, eventually maybe I'll push it to its, not to its limits, but push it to where it's supposed to be. But this head, now this head is it's rigid. You know, I think the dampers are already in there. Luca already puts the dampers. He already sets the head up. You know, it's all set to go when you get it. So the dampers are in here, and this there is no movement in this head at all. So it's really rigid. So it demands high head speed. You know, it actually demands it. Otherwise, it's gonna do these. It's gonna do this when you have low head speed. Just like the Goblin. You know how the Goblin is at low head speeds. It's not stable. Well, that's what this the same thing. It's not stable at low head speeds, but it's got to be cranking. But at all times, it's got to be cranking. And then that's all right. You know, and like I said, if the tail's set up right. Not like the way I had it, but if the tail's set up right, it could take being cranked at high RPMs. So even the frame, like I said, when on the build review, the frame is really tight. You know, this frame is really rigid. You know, I like how tight it's made. You know, if you build it right, there's no play in this thing at all. Tail belt, no, there was no resonance. Well, you know what? When I had the motor at higher RPMs than I actually probably should have been, there was a little bit of resonating in the tail with the tail belt, but it wasn't bad. It could have been the tail push rod. It could have been that resonating. I don't know. But when I eventually changed the head speed, I lowered the head speed a little bit in bank 3 because I feel like that was too high, you know. But I did lower it, so that should be okay. Well, it was okay when I hovered it around, moved it around in my front yard. I didn't take it out for any high-speed passes yet. Like I said, the summer got in the way. And when I say, you know, summer got in the way, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, right? But so what else can I talk? These servos. Now you know these servos. They're micro, and they came out of that T-Rex 250 that I took apart, and they actually, you know, I was moving the helicopter around, doing all kinds, just so I can see how the servos reacted, and the reaction time, it was pretty good. I don't know how it's going to do with, you know, with 3D. I'm not a 3D man at all by any means, but I know I'm capable of doing mild aerobatics. And as soon as I conquer my heart, because my heart won't let me do anything right now. Every time I get out there and I try to do something, the helicopter kind of like freezes, or I just do my regular old, you know, circuits. But these servos, I'm sure, will let me do, if I apply myself, I'm sure it'll let me do mild aerobatics. You know, like I did on my 550 back in the day, a few years back, when I had some, you know, kahunas. But this helicopter, man, like I said, brother, I recommend this helicopter to you guys. Now, it's not a new helicopter, but it's new to me. So, you know, like I said, if you don't have it, it's new to you. I do recommend that you get the Oxy 3 because it's a good size relative to these smaller size helicopters. It's a good size, and I could see it far off, which surprised me that I could see it that far away. You know, I was pretty sure that it was going to disappear into the forest that was in front of me while I was flying, but it didn't. Well, it could be because I kept it higher, but I don't know, because you figure if you keep it higher and it's this small, that it would disappear. But like I said, it's not that. It's probably, I don't know, I was gonna say the size of a 300, but it's 250 millimeter blades, or 255, I can't remember. I think it's 255 millimeter blades. So it's probably like a 300 size, or like the Blade 300. You know, maybe it's comparable to that, but it's definitely not a 250 size helicopter. It's not definitely. Does not compare to a T-Rex 250. Remember that POS? I shouldn't say that. In case you still may have your 250 and I'm calling it a POS. That ain't cool. But what else about this thing I want to tell you about? So the flight characteristics for this Oxy 3, they're really good. Like I said, I don't have any problems with it. The tail itself, there's no slop in the tail like there was on that, you know, on the one over there, the Fast Devil, that thing. You know, you remember what the tail was like. Well, there's no slop in this at all. You know, and then, like I said, the head is rigid, and there was no slipping in there. In the belt for the tail, no slipping at all. Even when I would take it off throttle hold, then it would just jump right into its flight mode. Right, there was no spool. There's no spool up Maybe it's just the way I have it set up. I don't know. But there was no spooling up. This thing was like on, and it didn't strip. You know, there's just slant gears. Maybe that's what it was. Like I said, the helicopter's sound. This is a sound bird right here. You know, I don't have any problems with it. Like I said, the electronics did well in it. Icon unit, Icon 2. You know what? I suggest if you get the Icon 2, you make sure that the cable, you know, that the USB to the micro USB to the regular USB, to link it up to your computer, make sure that it's a cable that has, you know, relatively good data transfer rates. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Because I know the cable that I first used, I couldn't get this thing to work at all. I couldn't get it to boot up. Well, the only thing that was saying on my laptop was the only thing that I can access was the demo mode, and I think that's just not even in this. It's inside of the program itself on the laptop. When you download the program, that's the only thing that would come up was the demo mode. I could not get it. Actually, I even called the hobby, I emailed the hobby place, and I was like, this thing don't work, man. And they were like, yeah, did you check this, check that, check this? I was like, yeah, I checked all that. He's like, you checked the cable? I was like, yeah, I checked the cable. I just used it on the other thing and it worked fine. I'm using it on this, it's working. Then my buddy was like, hey, Joe, listen here, man. All cables are not created equal. He says, try different, heavier cable. So I was like, all right. And you know, I tried a different, heavier cable. A cable that I would use for the camera or a GoPro, something that transfers video and pictures at a good speed, at a good rate. That's what I used, and it worked. So that's what I suggest. If you get an Icon unit, you know, because they don't come with the cable, make sure the cable you use is one that works good with the Icon unit. Otherwise, you're gonna be like, man, this thing don't work, it's a piece of junk. You're gonna get all frustrated. You're gonna be like, man, why'd you make me buy this thing? You said it was good, it doesn't work. Everyone I get don't work. Cable. ESC works fine. I mean, it's a 40 amp ESC. It works fine. I didn't have a problem with it. You know, put out enough power for the servos and the Icon unit, and it was delivered enough power to the motor. It did pretty good. I'm happy with the ESC. You know, not unless I see any problems with it down the road, I'm not gonna change this out. And those batteries, the batteries, I'm sure that I could have got one with a higher discharge rate. You know, but those did fine. Those batteries over there, they did fine. If I ever have any problems where I have any brownouts, then I'll just change the battery and get bigger batteries or ones with a higher discharge rate. But those work fine. Oh, you know what, guys? Let me put this down for a minute. Talk to you real quick, man to man. You know, with this pandemic, fellas, do what you got to do to stay safe. All right, do what you got to do to stay safe. Nobody wants to get sick. You know, you know, you want your family, your friends, you want everyone to stay healthy, so do what you got to do. But as far as the other dilemma, you know, that this nation is going through, be smart. You know, be smart. Don't let somebody else. You know, your friends are friends. It don't matter who they are, what color they are. Your friends are your friends. You know, don't let anyone or group of people cause division, you know, with you and your friends. And you know, be true to yourself. Always be true to yourself. You know, you are who you are. You know, if you're a good person, you're a good dude, just stay a good dude. Later for what the nation is doing. You know, friends are friends right to the end. If it's your real boy, you know, you got to be true to yourself. Stay true to your friends too. Well, that's enough preaching. But stay safe, for real. Stay safe. You know, wear your mask. You know, I know we don't wanna. I know when you go out and you go to the gas station or you go get a donut and coffee, you don't want to wear no mask. But you know what? If you're going inside, if not for you, do it for me. Throw a mask on. Make me feel good. You know, otherwise people look at you like you don't care. You're gonna do your thing. You know, don't be like that. I forget sometimes. You know what I do? I turn right around and go back to the car. You know, I got one of those ninja masks, or I got regular old paper masks, you know, the blue ones that's white on the other side, blue on the outside. I got one of them in the car. So if I get if I forget my ninja mask, go in the car and grab my paper mask. So do your thing. Do what you gotta do. Stay safe. But anyway, listen here. Get this helicopter. I'm telling you, or at least get an Oxy. Get an Oxy helicopter. You know what I'm saying? But I do like this, you know. I like the stance of this helicopter. We went over this in the build review, but I figure I'll go over it again. I like the stance of the helicopter. You know, it looks as it's raked. You know, sits like, you know, it's raked, man. It's jacked up. You know what I'm saying? It's jacked up like a chopper, like a chopper. I'm digging the oval boom. We already went over this, but I figure I'll go over it again since I'm doing a review. I'm digging this overview, I'm digging the overview. I'm digging the oval boom on this, you know, with the minus the boom struts. And I think it looks good. It looks real clean like that. We went over it before, but I'm gonna go over it again. There's things I'm gonna go over it again because, like I said, it's been a long time. But I like the tail pulley incorporated into the main gear. I don't know what I wanted to call it, the main bearing. I wanted to call it the main bearing. But yeah, I like how they incorporate it. I like the way the tail pulley is incorporated into the main gear. I think that's pretty good right there. I like the fact that instead of the Velcro straps, they put on these rubber straps. You know, I like that idea. It's pretty good. I like that. I'm sure you would too. You know what? I do feel like that I'm used to the Velcro straps. They seem like they may be a little quicker disconnect, and you just throw your battery on and it may last longer, but it's definitely not as fast as a Velcro strap is. Actually, I find these a bit fiddly also, but I mean, it's cool, you know. But all in all, it's a good helicopter. I do recommend it. So if you get a chance to get an Oxy 3 by Lynx Oxy, Oxy Heli, I would suggest go ahead and get one. You know, I don't think you'd be disappointed. It's small, has small parts because it's a small helicopter. Of course, it's going to have small parts, but you may find it a bit challenging to put together. I don't have the canopy locked down through the pins. I just have it kind of like sitting on there loosely. But like I said, you may find a little challenge just handling the small little parts. When I say small little parts, I mean like the screws and the little bearings for the tail. But like I said, I do recommend it. And as far as the next video goes, you know what that's going to be, right? Well, I hope you know what it's going to be, because I don't know what it's going to be. I think it's going to be an unboxing. I think so. Or it's going to be a takedown of the one of the helicopters. Well, you already know which one it is. Decommission of the helicopter over there. Or it's going to be a something. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know. Well, all I know is it's a wrap. It's going to be a wrap with this one. On the next video, you won't see the Oxy 3. Not that I'm retiring it, but it's going to take its space. It's going to take its spot next to the other helicopters over there. So, like I said, stay tuned. There's going to be an unboxing, I think. And then maybe after that, I don't think I'm going to do a build video right after that. If anything, I'll do an unboxing, and then I'll do a decommission of the helicopter, and then go to a build video. That's probably how it's gonna be. I don't know. It's always subject to change. You know that. Another thing I'm doing, gentlemen, is getting ready for to build another room for the hobby. You know, another room for the you know, it's got to be bigger. I just need something for my static models, for my die-cast cars, my plastic models, for the helicopters. I just need places to put everything, you know what I mean? Not to mention, I just need more space for the videos. You know, I gotta have the lights, the camera pushed back. I just need it back a little bit more. I feel like, especially this camera, I was having problems, man, with these cameras. you know, setting them up the right way. This is the one I ended up. This is the one was over here, and that one was over there, and it wasn't working out right. This one was way up in my face when it was over here. I mean, it was way up in my face. You couldn't count the nose hairs. It was so close. Believe me, it was disgusting. But listen here, gentlemen. Thanks for dropping by. Stay safe. If you want to subscribe, it's iPilot4411, 2 T's at the end of pilot. Yeah, you knew I was going to say that, right? But drop back by. Oh, you know, you should check out, if you haven't checked out yet, check out some of the old videos, especially the 550. You know, the 550, like I said, that was my workhorse right there. That thing took some crashes. That thing took some hits. I remember one time I crashed it. I went to the hobby store up in Winstead, I think it was, and got the parts, same, you know, and rebuilt it that night. Next day I went out, crashed it again. You know, that thing took some hits. It took some hits. Out of all my helicopters, that 550 took some hits, but you know what? It did what it did, and it was a workhorse. It taught what it taught. Yeah, check those videos out. If you want to subscribe, it's iPilot4411, 2 T's at the end of pilot. And thanks for stopping by. So peace, cheers, see you soon. Yep.